Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon.
Awesome. I think we got some more people flowing in here. Let's see. Happy Hump Day. It is Wednesday. We are officially halfway through.
Yeah, wait, we're at the end of April, almost to
Yeah.
May. Yes, can you believe
Yes.
it?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Tomorrow is it.
Yeah.
And we'll officially, if you have little ones or somewhat little ones, they will be starting their countdown to school being out. And okay, so we have Victoria, LaMonica. Here we go. We will be getting started here because I want to be respectable of everybody's time. And I know some people may be trying to squeeze this in during a lunch break. And I'm looking for my assistant so she can take over the waiting room. Let's see. Okay. Well, for those of you that are here, thank you. I will be sending a recap of this out, and I understand if you cannot, but if you can, I would love to see your beautiful faces, beautiful smiling faces. So I'm not just looking at myself, but if you can't, I understand. Judgment free zone. We all here to support each other. There we go. Thank you. Love it. Love it. Yes. So, just to get started, but the I want to welcome everybody. And if you can, this is interactive. So if you want to pull and have the chat up on as we do this, because before we dive in, I do want to know where everyone is watching from today. So if you want to just throw your state or city in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. Atlanta. So, Victoria, when you say Atlanta, do you mean Atlanta, Metro Atlanta, East Atlanta, South Atlanta, West Atlanta? What you mean?
So I guess Metro?
Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I claim to. I just say
Yeah.
Metro. Ain't nowhere. Yeah, I'm 45
Yeah.
minutes. So, all right. So we have Hampton, Virginia, Florida. Okay, love it, love it. All right. So, please note people will be trickling in, and I will try to keep my eye on this waiting room while doing this as well. But one of the things that I would also like for you to do as we get started, if you can briefly share with me what your biggest frustration is right now when doing job searching. So I'm sure we're all here. We're talking to, this is our bi-weekly career strategy forum, so open Q&A. But I would like to kind of get a sense of what is your biggest frustration currently when it comes to doing the job search. And Chris, I made you co-host so you can watch the waiting room for me. All right, I see one in here. Ooh, best right fit. Love it. Mm. So Monica, we're going to talk about that because I like to do active participation and make sure I'm staying, in the know. I've done recruiting for 15 plus years, and I still will go through and do things just to see what everyone else is kind of going through and struggling with. And then I have all my friends that are close colleagues that kind of keep me abreast of everything. And so that whole not hearing back thing, we're going to talk about that. Um, All right, so we got a couple of questions. I think we got enough to or points so we can get started. Um, so one of the things, the question was, what is your biggest frustration with your job search right now? Biggest frustration with your job search. So, real quick to kind of we call it housekeeping. If you're hoping that I am going to tell you that you're using the wrong font, you're saving your resume with the wrong file name, or how to write a specific bullet point, this is not the room for you. What we're going to be doing is live diagnostic with those that have, asked their questions. And we're here to talk about what is actually getting in the way of your next move, whether that be unclear direction, weak positioning, and applying for the wrong roles. Carmen, that's a good one. Yeah. Having to go on a billion interviews for one role. So, what I would like for you to do is throughout the event, make sure that you are asking your questions, putting them in the chat. We'll try to make sure I don't skip any. I do have my assistant here, so she'll try to help keep me on track with that too. But this is engaging. So the more questions you ask, the better the flow will go. Um, Also, if you want to, when I get to your question, if you want to come off mute, you can, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So if everyone's ready, just throw a one in the chat, and I know everyone is ready to go. Awesome. Okay. So one of the reasons why I hold these events is a lot of people tend to think that their resume is the problem. You update it, you send it out, and you get crickets. You update it, you send it out, you get an auto rejection, right? And the reason why I kind of want to spend time on this is because your resume is just a symptom. It is not the issue. The real issue is you have outgrown your role and you are applying to roles that you are not locked into. So some of the roles that you are applying to are not in alignment with where your skill set is and where you really should be headed. Would anybody agree? Like, who's been applying to roles and they know, like, without a shadow of a doubt, you qualify for them? You check off every single box. You just put thumbs up or a yes. A real thumbs up. Thank you, Walter. Yeah, because they tell you you can go ahead and apply if you don't meet everything, but you're spending the time, you're applying, you're fixing, you're curating, and then nothing. And so one of the things I want to have you all think about, and as you get ready to ask your questions, is when you are targeting your next role, are you trying to expand where you are, or are you trying to elevate from where you are? So are we trying to be broad and gain more experience? Are we expanding or are we leveling up or elevating? That's how I want you to kind of think about it. I want you to consider, how many people would say they're in the wrong title or wrong position? You do way more than what you currently do, but you just can't seem to get the supervisor, your hiring manager, your boss to give you the right title. You know you're performing duties of that next level up. Anybody? Yes or no? Nobody? We're all got the right titles. We are positioned where we need to be. Wow, okay. So In between. Okay, Carmen. So for you, the last job you were at, do you think your title and position was correct for what you were doing? And like I said, if you want to hop off mute, you can. Or like I said, I'm watching the chat here. So with that being said, when you are trying to do that and you're applying for jobs, you have to be able to have it demonstrate if you're trying to expand or elevate. So as we get ready to go into your questions, that's how I'm going to kind of reflect back to you today. And that's just one facet of it. There's many, many things, but it's not just your resume. You can put your resume through the ringer. If it is not positioning or telling your story accurately, it is not going to be helpful. You're not going to be able to get that progress and progress through the applicant tracking system, the application process like you need to. So, real quickly, um, if you are struggling with, if you're elevating, who here wants to elevate? Put a one. That's what I need to know. Who's trying to elevate? All right, we got one. And then if you're just trying to expand anything, just kind of learn some more, you can put a two. So if you're trying to elevate, so you're moving up, you're trying to get your title, your level correct, put a one. If you're expanding, put a two. We got mostly ones here. All right. So real quick, what I would like to ask is if you want to put your question in the chat or raise your hand and I will have you come off mute. And what is your specific question that you have in regards to that next step, having breaking through? Ooh, there. Any questions? Because this is your forum, Victoria.
So when you say like breaking through, are you saying because so for me, I'm not sure, but my background is heavily in like the federal government. And now I'm pivoting into like more of healthcare, dealing with like healthcare systems, hospital systems. So is that what you're meaning?
No, that's actually I'm glad you asked that question.
Mm-hmm.
So with where you are in government,
Mm-hmm.
and those are really, really straight line, right? You got to
Right.
serve time here and just and you progress, right?
hmm
So when you are looking at this pivot, are you trying to do something lateral or are you trying to move up when you make this pivot?
so because of I guess like my specific title, um, it aligns with my experience and experience that I have been seeing in different roles. So it's more of like
Mm,
a pivot into from one like specific box to another, if that makes sense. Like instead of having that federal government like verbiage, now I'm using more of like healthcare hospital system verbiage, which is still the same. Like I'm still
hmm
applying for roles that's within that same language and that same kind of skill set. But
hmm
it's so much more of like just pivoting because I am getting my doctorate. And so the doctorate translates into more of the healthcare system verbiage. But it's just like, again, being so heavily influenced by the federal government, state and local government, is still kind of like a gray area.
Yes. So you're some of my favorite people. Okay. And I say that because there's, and this is not just with federal, this is with federal going to private, this is with higher ed,
hmm
nonprofit going to private. And one of the things that you will see are how titles are, and
Yeah.
titles tend to be a little more inflated on the nonprofit the higher ed, the government side, because that's one of the perks. It's
Yeah.
that stability in how those titles are positioned. And so I would have to wonder if you are really targeting the right things in the right
Yeah.
level.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing because I was um a GS 14 going to 15.
Mm-hmm.
So and translate that into layman's terms, that's a senior manager director.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like that's why I put that. It's just more so like, okay, where do I fit? Because I've had jobs and even like the panel of interviewers tell me like, you know, we thank you for interviewing with us, but you are like you're interviewing for this job and yeah, no, like you could actually be like the CEO, like actually like lead this. And so that's why I'm having like that hard time because, stepping away from the federal government and just pivoting into these different roles, it's really tricky because, like I said, the verbiage and it's more so of like skill set. Like I can practically, do anything. I'm almost like a unicorn because it's
Mm-hmm.
just like I have so much experience in different areas.
Okay, unicorn. This is what we gotta do.
Okay.
Okay. We gotta focus on one thing,
Yeah.
just one.
Yeah.
And so with that, and they see, and so the story that you are probably telling is
Hmm.
confusing to
Yeah.
them because you're going for a role and they're like, why in the world do you want to do this if you've already done all of these other things?
Right.
And so it kind of puts in confusion. So believe it or not, less is more. So probably need to kind of thin out some things
Yeah.
that is going forward. But what I'm hearing though is that you're getting the interviews.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really making sure that you're positioned and targeting the right things. And I always tell people the things that you want to go for are kind of like a stretch. So you really kind of are in the elevate with the pivot that you're doing.
Hmm.
And that's because how your step that you're in, how it equates to the private sector.
Yeah.
And so what I would recommend for you is a next step strategy session with me and kind of can go over it in detail what's on your resume so that we can
Okay.
fix it before so you're targeting the right things
Okay.
because I think that's and you're going to have to narrow down because you did say it like you're applying to all kind of things you can do it all right
Hmm.
so then what happens is you start tweaking your resume every time do you change your resume every time you apply.
Just a little. Once you see it, you'll know. Like, cause it's just
Oh.
like yeah, yeah. It's kind of hard to explain it, but I have, like I said, I have extensive experience.
Okay. What
Yeah.
I want you, yeah, if you can, let's do a next step strategy session for
Okay.
sure. I'll drop that in the chat. But while we're here, because depending on how um interactive everybody is, Chris, will you send Victoria your the email address so she can just forward that on? I would love to take a peek at it while we're on the call. So look in your chat. Chris was going to send you a personal message.
Okay.
If you're okay, are you okay forwarding it to me?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. Next, who else? Who else has a question? Again, this is for y'all. So ask away. You can put it in the chat, or you can come off mute. Ooh, okay. Hold on. We got one in the chat. Okay. So Tiffany. So this is actually Tiffany asked, how would someone dwindle down their options? She's in a similar position, but doesn't know what field she would like to go into currently in federal contracting. So, Tiffany, if I'm understanding, you're trying to figure out what is next, that you're not quite sure. Okay, perfect. All right. So what I tell everybody, the first thing you do, especially if you work with me, is clarity. We get clear on what it is that you want to do. And we do that by looking at what you have done, what you are naturally good at, and what those skills are, and presenting those to you because there typically is a pattern throughout your history that will pick up on what that thing is. And that too, we can do through a next step strategy session or just working together one on one. But you have to start narrowing down. The question I would ask myself, Tiffany, if you can throw it in the chat, what do people come to you for? What is it? What is that thing that you can do that comes easy to you, but others may have trouble with? It just comes to you naturally, it's just easy. Or again, that thing that people always come to you for. What is that thing? And I'll give you a little bit to think about that. And if is anybody else struggling with that, knowing what to do next? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. Cybersecurity. So with that, in that cyber realm, is there anything specifically people come to you for? You don't have to type fast. You take your time. You're fine. All right. Carmen, I work in accounting and been an accounting manager for the past 5 years. My issues, I worked across industries. There's a lot of government people today. Oh my goodness. I'm having difficulty finding my next role due to not having industry experience. Carmen, are you where you can come off mute?
Yes, I'm off mute.
Okay. Tell me more, because so you've been doing accounting.
Yes, I've been doing accounting now for 20 years, but the lion's share of my experience was in governmental accounting, more so on the local side. I worked for a local government and then for a school system. Transitioned into healthcare accounting, didn't like that. Um, then did a little manufacturing, retail. And so it seems like now everything that's available is either in the construction industry or something insurance related or food and beverage. And so although
Okay.
debits are debits, credits are credits, they keep saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, well, you don't have construction experience, you don't have that experience." And I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out how to mitigate that. I'm just like, well, I'm not going out to build a house, but I understand
Yes.
cost accounting, project accounting, all of that other stuff.
Yes. So yours would be, you're actually sounding like you're trying to expand because what was the last title, the highest title that you've held for accounting?
Senior accounting and building manager.
Okay. And again, it's not like I'm repeating myself. I too still think a next step career strategy session would work because what I would say is what industries can we find that tie in together that you could make that bridge and cross over into easily. And it's there, just takes like a little bit of digging, but I'm trying to think for construction per se. Any of the accounting that you did, even for government, the city, did any of them deal with contractors and stuff that was being built?
Absolutely.
Then and that's what you would focus on. That's what you would highlight. So just kind of like telling that story. If that's the industry you want to go into. So I'm also hearing that it's an issue of this is all you're seeing, but is there a specific industry that you want to go into?
No, I think I'm trying to find an organization that is uh, stable first and foremost. The last company I worked for was PE backed, and in that world, they do a lot of restructuring, and so my position was just eliminated. So I'm trying
Mm.
to one find a business that is solvent, that's not having all of these cash flow issues, because I don't want to a year from now be back in the unemployment seat. So I'm not married or tied to any specific industry.
Okay. And so I think that can kind of come up too. What is something that you are driven by or fueled by as far as like mission? Because did you like doing the government, the smaller, the county, the city government?
Um, Not particularly, because I feel like in with governmental accounting, you kind of get pigeonholed into, like, if you're a budget analyst, then you're just doing budget, or if you're doing this, you're doing that. On the accounting manager side of it, it's just, I guess, all encompassing. You get to dabble in a little bit of everything, and I tend to like that more so than
Okay.
the government side.
Okay. So that speaks to the lane and then the where. And so I think kind of honing in on where those two kind of get married and what all is on your resume and being able to target just that industry. But again, I would make sure it's an industry that you would want to go in. But then there's also the facet of if you just need to go to work and not really, you know, trying to target something specifically, like, I want to go to work. Let me get into this field, this industry. Then we pull all those things that are construction related. What other type of contracts in accounting did you do that came across, especially in the city? Because I'm imagining all kinds.
Uh, yeah, with the city, there were all types of contracts. There was just federal funding, state funding. Even in my last role, there were statements of work that were different contracts between the business and their customers. So I've, I think every role that I've worked in, there's been some sort of contract involved.
Okay. So I would say if you can book some time with me and kind of let's delve into the different account types and whom you worked with because I think the answer is there
Okay.
as far as who and where, and then translating that to clearly speaking their language and showing them so there is no doubt. It's kind of like how you're positioned. Um, your resume, does it have you have your professional summary up top?
Yes.
And what does it speak to?
Um, it speaks to more so, I guess, just like your typical accounting manager roles, budgeting and forecasting, month end close, um, cross functional leadership and development, team management, audits, variance analysis. Like, it's just a hodgepodge of
There's the issue.
everything that I've done.
There's the issue.
Okay.
Hodgepodge. So we need to narrow that down. 'Cause I think you said accounting manager. Do you like managing people?
Not particularly.
Okay. And so because what I'm hearing is a lot of duties, like a lot of things that you've done, but not necessarily led. And I'm wondering what level roles are you applying to?
So the thing is, um, in my last role as an accounting manager, I led a team of 6. And the reason
Okay.
I say I don't like managing people because I feel like that's almost like running an adult daycare. But in accounting and finance, like an accounting manager, assistant controller, controller, that's where the money is at. So I can't get around that unless I look up and find an accounting manager role that has no direct reports.
Which will be harder, which so but we're getting somewhere. Okay. And this is what we would do in a next step strategy session is
Okay.
because what I'm hearing too is that you probably like being responsible for and managing processes, not
Yes.
people.
Yes.
So that helps us to start narrowing down those roles too.
Okay.
Do you see like in how you might be giving energy to roles and things that don't necessarily suit you
Yes.
and what you can bring? Yeah, and I think and that comes through when we do it. There's no crystal ball to it, and we all tend to do it. And what I tell people is a lot of times what I see is people put in for jobs and positions, they do that spray and pray method. Anybody agree? Does anybody do that? You just, you know
Absolutely.
what? Pray and pray, right? And that doesn't work. And I always equip it to being back in middle school because that's my youngest is a middle schooler, so that's what's relevant to me right now. Being in middle school and sending that note on a dare to a boy, do you like me? Yes or no? And they say no, and you be like, well, I didn't like you anyways. It was just a dare, like that type of thing when we're doing that spray and pray. But then if he does say yes, we're like, oh, okay. Do you want to go out with me? Yes or no? It's that
Yeah.
mentality. Yeah, it's like let me reject you before you reject me mentality. And I want you all to narrow down your choices. You spend so much energy and time when you're trying to hit all these moving targets as opposed to becoming laser focused. And that's like the biggest takeaway and challenge I would give everyone is to kind of narrow it down. And so I'm thinking, Carmen, just from what you said too, you might be applying to roles that are too low. What do you think?
That's possible. It's just I was because I am in between jobs right now. I'm just like, okay, what's gonna get me in the door the quickest?
Mm-hmm. So you have two things that you're trying to accomplish, and I say and I ask that all the time. It's like if you are needing work, so we're trying to get you stable first, right?
Yes.
And then we can target that next goal. And so even with that stability, that means how you present yourself is going to be different too.
Okay.
So it might be some things we need to take out, or you might really need to start going for those higher level, those next step up positions.
Okay.
Are you willing to try?
I am. I'm open to anything at this point
Okay.
because
Yeah, I would it
I don't want to deplete my savings in the interim. So
yes. So I think getting clear, having two modes of attack for, and I do understand that. So anybody on the call today, I will ask that because how the market is, it's like, do you need to get stable or are you currently working and we have some wiggle room? If it's getting stable, then let's focus on getting you stable, which means we might have to peel back some things so you don't come off as intimidating on paper for you to get that thing and then go after what that next role is for you that you are more than qualified for. Real quick, let's see here. We'll go back to Tiffany's because we'll answer this. The role I am in now is at a site that is brand new, daily task. I'm just trying to, ah, okay. Chris, I'll make a note. I reach out to Tiffany because Tiffany is fairly new in her career, and she is doing daily tasks, compliance, risk mitigating. I see a lot of more of the risk and compliance stuff coming up in her statement. Um, Her main interest is compliance. See, I didn't read that part. Um, and so she is at that point of knowing what industry to pivot to next. So she's kind of expanding. And I tell people that all the time. It's important to know what you want to do, and it's also important to know where you want to do that work. And sometimes people are doing, oh, thank you, Carmen. A lot of people are doing the right job, but at the wrong place. And then the inverse is true too. You could be at the right place, but doing the wrong job. Has anybody felt that before? Y'all are so quiet. Yes. Does anybody feel like you're doing the right job? You know that's your job, but maybe you're at the wrong place. Thumbs up, hands up. No? Okay. All right. Let's see. Any other questions? We got like 8 minutes remaining. I'm just gonna go round robin. Victoria, any questions?
No, I sent over my resume to you.
Okay, perfect. Uh, I will look at that. Oh, I see. I had missed a question, y'all. Real quick, LaMonica, do you have a question?
Hello. So I don't have a question. I'm just transitioning from the military, so I'm just trying to understand the process of everything, and just
Ah,
just getting my resume together to make sure I get the right job. I'm looking to go into the HR community on the civilian side. So I'm just listening, taking everything in, and just trying to understand.
okay. What did you do in the military?
So I worked as a fuels technician, and right now I'm serving as a human resource professional in the administrative side of things with the Navy.
Okay. So I understand the administrative side, but what title would you say you're performing under right now?
Right now as a career counselor,
Really?
dealing with retention, reenlistment, separations, retirement processes, or whatnot.
Okay, so I'm hearing talent. That's more on that talent development
Yes,
piece.
I've also served that. Mhm.
Yeah, how do you like it?
I really found out that I was an introvert when I took on the role as a talent. I would say a recruiter. So yeah, I like it, but it's very challenging when you're dealing with different personnel.
Hey, okay, see, Lamonica, you done came off mute. So let me ask this question. So with what you have had a chance to experience as far as HR roles and duties,
Mhm.
what have you enjoyed the most?
I enjoy helping people advance in their careers, seeing them getting promoted. Even with when it comes down to recruitment, just seeing personnel getting the job that they want and progressing that job over time.
Okay. And so then you mentioned being an introvert. And I'm an introvert. I promise you. I'm an introvert. After this call, I am going to crash. I'm going to have to refuel. Okay. Um, but what have you seen as far as roles that would allow you to do that? Like, I want to know what you were seeing.
Well, right now I do have an approval letter, an acceptance letter to go into local government. working in the city of whichever city we decide to place me in, to hopefully do a rotational view of each of the director departments and seeing if the director of HR or assistant city manager would possibly work in my route.
Okay, just because everyone, there's two ways. If you have gotten any kind of takeaway from this session, just hearing the conversations and the questions and the responses, I would recommend, especially if you feel like you have like one key question, to either book a next step strategy session. And then if you feel like, you know what, I'm ready, let me get clear, let me get a plan in place, that would be a career alignment and strategy call. And that's like an hour call with me. But I would definitely see which one of those fit you best. And I would book one of those calls, because sometimes it's just even having someone to talk through it. And so for you, LaMonica, I'm going to challenge you on something. And I know we just met, but I'm going to challenge you anyways.
Yes.
Um, just from what I know, what I do, and what I'm hearing you say, HR may not be the end, might not be the field. It may be something else.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Are you like exceptionally married to HR?
Well, that's what I've been working towards these past couple months, and I've been
Mm-hmm.
tailoring my resume for that particular career field as a whole. So that's what I've been mainly focusing on.
Okay. The number of people that I have met that want to do HR, and I'm so glad if you're going to be able to go and shadow and talk with different directors too. And when they find out what it is that they really want to do, and that HR does not supply that, and we get to find that role in that job that does, and usually it does work closely with HR, but sometimes it's not in HR.
Hmm.
And what you're saying, and is, people do think they love to help people, they want to go into HR. I'm here to tell you, HR is not for the employees, it's for the employer. So I'm hearing a couple of things. I would love to talk to you more about it, because it might be the recruitment side, but from what you're saying, I feel like it might drain you by the end of the day.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. See, I know. The best feeling in the world is calling somebody and offering them a job. That is the best feeling in the world.
Hmm.
And that was like the peak of my days when I got to do offers. Um, but from what I'm hearing in the progression and the advancement that you want to see people do, I have some other things are coming to mind to me
Okay.
that I would want you to consider. So, but it's 12:59. See, look at that timing. But in the chat, I put the link in for a next step strategy session, and especially for you, LaMonica, because you, in the story that your resume needs to tell to do that segue and position you, I think you'll be fine. The way I'm hearing you talk about what you like doing, I don't think you have a problem interviewing. I just think getting that resume right and tight and get you into the right rooms.
Okay.
So,
I could
but I
definitely
did,
set up a time.
yeah. So I put that in the chat. It is 1 o'clock. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. I think Shantia is, or did I not get you? I think I saw something from you. Hold on. Let me see. Or maybe not. Yes, Shantae, we're going to be sending out something, um, a summary in a replay, a cleaned up version. um, and then Christina Freeman, I want to come back and we're going to talk about that as a whole separate topic. Would anybody be interested in um, kind of hearing and talking through the constant application rejections?
Yes, I would.
Okay. I'll do it off of one vote. One vote. Anybody else? Shantia, I see you came off mute.
Yes, I would be interested in that because I am actually employed, but looking for something else because it's starting to not be the right environment or the culture anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
been applying and getting rejection letters. They've been like, "Oh, just check our website for something else." I'm like, "Well, what else are you looking for?" Kind of, I've tried positions that I was overqualified for. I tried positions that, I was willing to learn, and they both kind of just, proved to be non-productive, if that makes sense.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Chris, make a note. I'm gonna have to maybe throw that in there, but the constant application rejections definitely can maybe get that on the calendar for next month. And Shantia, even for you, again, if you could schedule either the strategy call with me or a next step strategy session, that is something I can assist you with. I feel like I could. And especially because I hear you've done roles that you are qualified for, underqualified, overqualified. So really kind of getting a strategy down for you on where and how you're applying.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I definitely. So if you could, but thank you everyone for taking time out in the middle of the day to come to this. We will be hosting another one probably like 2 weeks, and there might be a pop-up one since the application rejection is something that you all are interested in. So just make sure that you are connected with me. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to post on my page, send me a message, and I look forward to speaking with you all soon, I hope. All right.
Thank you so much.
No, no problem. Y'all have a good rest of the day.
You too. And then just real quick, when you
Uh,
look at my resume, can you let me know which session to book with you?
for sure. Yes, I can do
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
All right.
I sent it to you.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I'll look for it. All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye bye.